What's up guys? This is gonna be a sit and talk video. Thank you to Andy Ma for giving me this idea of a story of my life type of video. Every time I try to think about specific details, it just gets more detailed and detailed in my head, and I don't want to keep talking about all of these things that I could think of because it'll make this video super long. So I'm just gonna be very brief. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Before getting into this video, I am almost at 100 subscribers. So please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. Totally would appreciate that. Thank you guys so much, and let's get to it. Alright, so my name is Wilson Chang. I am quarter Vietnamese, quarter Korean, and half Chinese. I was born in July of 1995, which makes me 24 years old. I was born in Hayward, California, and within my first 6 years of my life, I lived in different cities of Northern California, such as San Jose, Sunnyvale, and Milpitas. I have a younger sister. Her name is Claudia. I was living in a very family-oriented lifestyle when I was a kid. I had a bunch of family in California, and I still do today. Because I was so young, I don't really remember much of what happened during my childhood. I just remember that I spent a lot of time with my cousins. So when I was 6 years old, my dad found a career opportunity in southern Florida. So our whole family, me, my sister, my dad, and my mom, we moved to South Florida, specifically in Coral Springs. When we first got to South Florida, I was enrolled in this, I think, Catholic school. It was called First Baptist or something. And I was also in a Chinese school. So I was learning Chinese and I was learning things about God. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but that's what happened. So I lived in an apartment at first, and then eventually my cousin from California, his name is Brandon, he's only a year younger than me, he moved with me to Florida for a few years. So it was pretty cool to live with my little sister and to have my cousin right there. Later, my family moved to a new neighborhood within Coral Springs, Florida. It was such a beautiful home. It was 2 stories, it had 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It was gorgeous. If I could find pictures, I'll post them up here somewhere. But yeah, I lived there for quite a long time. My life as a kid, I was very into many different sports. I liked playing games for sure, like many other kids. And I just liked being outside. That was my thing. At that time when I was living at the new house in Florida, me, my sister, and my cousin, we went to an elementary school called Park Springs Elementary. It was really nice. In South Florida, it was somewhat diverse, but there weren't a lot of Asians there. So me, my sister, and my cousin, we were kind of the minority there, but it was all good. Got along with everyone. Eventually, my cousin moved back to California to be with his mom, and there I was just still living in Florida. I was very huge on things like WWE wrestling, video games like the Nintendo 64, Nintendo GameCube, the Wii. Yeah, I was just the type of kid to be outdoors all the time with my friends, or at least indoors playing games. It was an everyday lifestyle other than just going to school and stuff. As a kid, I was very studious, very smart. A lot of people thought I was a genius because I was just this tiny Asian kid who knew what the hell I was doing in school. Also, as a kid, I had plenty of different pets. That was also a huge part of my life. I had over hundreds of lizards, literally. I would catch them outside, have them in this giant fish tank kind of thing. It was just incredible having lizards because that was my favorite animal at the time. Also had a bunch of hamsters, birds, turtles, fish, and maybe more, but I just can't think of it right now. By 2004, around that time, my mom and my dad separated, so my mom moved back to California for personal reasons. And then a few years later, my stepmom came into the picture by the time I got into middle school. And of course, at first, I wasn't happy with her being around, but then I got used to it because life goes on, and I'm very grateful for her up until today. Even though we lived in a super nice house, for some reason we moved a few miles away within the same neighborhood, which is very odd. Yeah, we moved into this really nice house where we had a swimming pool, and we had a lake behind the house, so we would go fishing because fishing was also something that I really admired. But up until the 2008-2009 recession time period, basically everything went downhill from there. Really impacted my family negatively, and we all had to move back to California. So I had to say bye to all my friends, and that was a very sad part of my life. It was just something very sad that had to happen. So coming back to California when I was about 13, finished 8th grade, and lived with my aunt for a few months. At that point of time, I was attending a school called Leva Middle School for only a few months, and I remember coming back feeling like there was a culture shock for me because there's literally a bunch of Asians here. I was not used to being around a lot of Asians, so that was a huge change for me, but I definitely got used to it, you know. And I also remember coming back, I had to get a lot of shots because I was living in California now. So I had like 4 shots on my right arm and 2 on my left arm, and I just got sick for like 3 days, and it was such a terrible experience. As I was living in California now, attending middle school, I also reunited with my cousins, spent time with them very often, especially on the weekends. Yu-Gi-Oh, like the card game, children's card game, was a huge part of our lives. We were like killing it. We were so good at it, and I'll always like remember that. Fun fact is that we also had YouTube videos back then about Yu-Gi-Oh with like terrible camera quality. Later, I moved again to my own home away from my aunt, so I was forced to kind of relocate to a different area, which means I couldn't go to the same high school as my friends from middle school. So that was very unfortunate for me because I was sad to like leave friends behind once again. In 2009, I attended Yerba Buena High School. That was my high school in San Jose. Fortunately, I attended the school for all 4 years. Because I did move again, I was like a lot further from that school. My dad was still willing to take me to school like every single day for 4 years. Thankfully, I didn't have to leave my friends again. High school was definitely a huge part of my life. I met so many great people, and I'm still friends with many people I've met up until today. I have a bunch of close friends from high school. I could honestly say that a majority of my friends are from my high school. A lot of crazy things happened in high school. I started off as a very shy and reserved kid again. Took some time meeting new people. I was very interested in tennis, and that became my main sport for all 4 years. Within the second half of my high school career, I became more open, became like some sort of social butterfly. I guess I just gave myself some exposure by just meeting new people and took the chance to talk to people. So that was a really huge change for me. I attended San Jose State University for college. I graduated within 4.5 years. I majored in business accounting. That was my concentration. Within my time in college, it was very cool, very interesting experience. Also met a bunch of wonderful people. I still keep in touch with a few of my friends from college, so I'm also thankful for that because I'm just thankful for a lot of things, honestly. During the time, like when I was in college, I decided to pick up on basketball because I really enjoy that sport. I could honestly say that basketball is my favorite sport. I've watched it as a kid and I'm still playing it today. I wouldn't say I'm great, but I do enjoy it, that's for sure, and that's what it's all about, right? I got with my girlfriend in 2014, so it's been about 6 years and a month and a half or so. So I'm super thankful for her, and I'm not going to talk about her anymore because I don't want her to hurt me. I have a stepsister named Twin who moved in with me and my family in 2015. She came all the way from Vietnam. I got my dog Nico in the end of 2016 thanks to my friend Shane from one of my old workplaces. I've only had a handful of jobs throughout my life. First few years of my college life, I worked at a Thai food restaurant called Sweet Basil. I worked there for almost 3 years up until it literally closed down. Then I moved to another workplace at a bakery called 85 Degrees Bakery. Lasted only a year there. Funny story, I'll probably get into that later in possible video ideas because that didn't end well for me. I worked at a milk tea shop called the Moo Bar for about a year as well after that. This was still by the time I was in my last year of college. After college, I started working for a company called Cognizant Technology Solutions, which is partnered with Google as a vendor, and I've been in 3 different projects since 2018, and I'm still there today. In late 2017, my grandpa passed away, which was very heartbreaking for me. Still miss him today. My uncle also passed away last year, like late last year as well, so very unfortunate news. Not to make anything like super sad or anything, I'm like perfectly fine, living a good life. I've been at my home for over 10 years now, which is very insane. Still keep in touch with a bunch of friends over the last few years. Picked up on YouTube. Really excited about it and happy to be doing this. It is something I've always wanted to do, and I'm just going at it. So give me that 100 subs and more, please. And that's about it. Like, I could definitely go into more detail. I may have future video ideas about what I want to do and talk about. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna stop talking now. So peace out. Have a great day.